Right, Bashan 200cc. I got this. I'm not going to say the great or anything like that, but I ended up with this at the right price. It needed lots doing to it, but there's certain things that I just want to go over and let people know. Like the bottom arm that I took off this side, the ball joint was an absolute nightmare. It was looser than anything, but then I went on Amazon and they wanted 70 quid for a pair of arms, but you can't replace just the ball joint. So I had a look this morning. I've actually painted it up now. I don't know how well you can see. I've actually, around the actual bottom, I peeled all that away, removed the plate, cleaned up the ball joint up. There was nothing wrong with the ball joint. It was just dry and got a bit of surface rust on it. So I've cleaned it up, greased it, put it back in, and I basically managed to completely tighten the ball joint back up. There's, it's actually a bit tight. If anything, it'll loosen up once it starts getting used. But yeah, so yeah, no, naughty. But not the best for spraying inside here, so I did it outside and just kept hold of the bottom bit there. I will give it another proper spray, so I'm not worried about that. But yeah, that is definitely one thing. Rather than buying new arms, anyone out there, just like I say, take the full arm off. You can either peel the whole I don't know how to. You can peel it all back, or you can probably get away with just tightening that lip of metal that holds the plate, because that's all that's done. It's just hit over the metal and it just folds over the plate to hold that plate on the ball joint. So you don't necessarily have to take it apart, I wouldn't imagine. But definitely that saved me a load of money. I'm dead happy. I've had to just order some CV boots, not CV boots, ball joint boots, off Amazon to match the ball joints, and then I will get this other one off. Obviously give that a rub down, check what the situation is. I don't think there's much play in this side. I think this is why it's still on. But the amount of work that I've had to do on this is unbelievable. I had to completely, you can't see it very well there, I had to completely rebuild this whole back end. The actual fixings out of factory that come in aren't anything I've made them. That was one nut that I've cut in the middle, so it's now acting as a locking nut on either side of the bearings for this rear output. And yeah, I've basically had to do everything. I've had to do the brakes, I've had to do engine work. The chain had come off on the previous owner. It had come back in behind this, and where everything is, all the magneto on this side, it had smashed right through the aluminium. Luckily my friend has got AC/DC welder. I can't do aluminium. I can do stainless steel with my TIG, but I can't do aluminium. So luckily I got that welded up by him. All that's back together, seems to be spot on. It runs no problems. I've got no indicators. So what I've done is I've checked everything this morning. This is the plug for the flasher relay, or controller unit, sorry, they don't call it a relay. It's actually classed as a controller, a hazard light controller unit. But as you can see there, yeah, I've just ordered one of them, 30 quid off eBay. But there was, what do you do? I could rewire it all, but I'll probably cause myself a load more aggro. Might as well buy the part. Yeah, it's 30 quid, but I've saved the money on the ball joint. So once I've got that flasher unit, I obviously I've not been able to get any of my indicators working, hence buying the flasher unit. So hopefully when that arrives, I'll be getting voltage to all these, and then that's it. You know, get everything back together. Needs a paint, but yeah, it's definitely getting there. Yeah, but yeah, issues with these, they're a nightmare. The electrics aren't great, to be honest with you. Yeah, not my cup of tea. A Bashan 200 quad. Might be some other people's. I would rather have gone for something a bit more named. But saying that, my friend's got a Quadzilla, and the welding on the actual frame is appalling. You know, it's not great on this, but it's better than the welding on the Quadzilla, to the point where some of the actual framing on the Quadzilla isn't square. You know, it's got bits of wire coming off the welds, and things like that. You know, it's works fine for what it is and does what it is. And the Quadzilla is another, you know, Chinese budget quad bike, but yeah, they still have, you know, the same things as these Bashans. But yeah, no, it's getting there now. Get everything tarted up, get it in for an MOT, and then I can start going out on it, and then I'll sell it, because it's not really my cup of tea. Right, see you everyone. Ta-ra.